What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Storm Collectibles event exclusive Mortal Kombat Scorpion. And so here we have the event exclusive Scorpion posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. The event exclusive Scorpion does come with two different head sculpts. We do get his Mortal Kombat 2 ninja head, which looks really nice. I love the way it looks. And then we also do get a flaming skull head, which also looks really good. We have 4 pairs of hands. We have a pair of fists. We have a pair of grip hands. We have a pair of clenching hands. Then we have a pair of style pose hands. We also do get 2 fire effects which do attach onto his forearms, and those look really good. We get a flame effect for him punching. Then we get 2 flame effects that we can have on the ground, and that looks really nice. Finally, he does have an actual chain and kunai which does slip onto his wrist, and that looks really good. Other than that, Scorpion here doesn't come with anything else. I think some blood effects would have been really nice to have for him, but we have plenty of blood effects from Storm Collectibles as it is. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look at his details. So here we have a closer look at the event exclusive Scorpion, and I know a lot of people originally thought this was a retool of the original Storm Collectibles Scorpion that we got, 3 years ago. This is not a retool of that Scorpion. Even though it does look similar, it is very different, and I do have the original Scorpion right here. As you can see, there is a lot different with this figure in terms of sculpt and just the overall design of the figure. Though they do share some similarities, they are not the same figure. They do not share any of the same pieces, which this Scorpion, everything about him is unique to him. Despite the fact he is styled in the MK2 look, this is actually the MK11 Scorpion with the classic MK2 costume. I don't know how the legal things work, especially because McFarlane has the MK11 license. I think this passed as an MK2 figure, so I think that's how they got away with it. But really do like the detailing on this figure. Now you can see they did sculpt some seam lines all throughout his mask, and that looks really cool. I love the way that looks. The wrinkles on it do look really nice. Now they did throw out this brown wash throughout the figure. Now I'm okay with it, but under my harsh lighting it is really noticeable. Under normal lighting you're not going to notice it. So even though it does look prominent on my figure right now, just be aware that under normal circumstances you're not going to see all this brown peeking through. So it's subtle, but it's not as dominating as my lighting is making it out to be. Taking a look at his gi, it does look really good, and the sculpt work on it is fantastic. Now I do have to point out that I did take this figure apart, and I did find an issue with it that not many people are actually talking about, so I'll actually explain it right here. The way Storm Collectible figures work is that the upper torso right here is a softer material. There's a plastic skeleton that has a ball joint down here at the diaphragm that connects the 2 pieces. Then it has 2 cups that connect the shoulder, and then we have a top cup which connects the head. So in between that we have a piece that's supposed to hook on the rubber overlay for the torso. With this Scorpion, they did not add enough material to the front or to the back. If you can see me push against it right here, you can see that's where it's supposed to clip onto the figure. Now if you look on mine, there is some seam or some stress marks on it, and that's because if I were to push down you can see that skeleton poking through. I don't know if my skeleton is actually reversed or if it's just the way they made the figure. If it's the way they made the figure, they should have rethought the way his chest was, because there's not enough material at the chest, because I can push down on it and you can see that the plastic skeleton wants to poke through. If you're too crazy with it, I can eventually see that ripping the rubber torso, so do be careful when you're posing him. If you feel like you need to shave that down on the inside, be my guest, but then the torso's not going to sit right, so again, be careful with that. Okay, now having a look at his costume, the gi is done exceptionally well, and I do like the paint work on it. There's not much paint to speak of besides a black lining going all the way around, which looks good. Then we do have like this string right here connecting to this part right there. I really don't know the proper term for this little piece of draping going onto his sash right here, but I do like the fact that even that is completely different from the original Scorpion, as you can see. Though it's similar, it's not the same. You can even tell in the shoulder pieces where this one hangs off the shoulder a little bit more. This one exposes the shoulders, and he kind of has that look where his shoulders are massive. And yes, that is a thing with this Scorpion, but if once you get him posed, you're not going to notice all those problems. So that is one thing to take away, that his shoulders are a little bit big, and then that makes his arms look big and his torso look small. Once you get him all posed up, you don't notice it as much, but that is something to note. We do have armbands that are sculpted really nicely on this figure, and they're really thick, and you can see some line work on it, so that looks good. We get a brand new set of gauntlets here, which these look really nice. I love the way these ones look. They are removable. If you don't want to have him wearing it, you can, but then he'll just have this hand plate which will look out of place. So do keep that in mind when you're thinking about taking those off, or if you're making a custom, you can actually interchange it with the original Mortal Kombat hands. You can see his tunic does drop down right here, and it's held by the sash, and that looks really good. Loving the detailing on it, although it kind of does flare out a little bit too much. It looks like he has really wide hips, which I'm not gonna lie, Storm Collectibles is getting a little crazy with the hips, because these right where my fingers are pressing, that's where his hips end, and his hips are wider than his chest. So that's something that Storm Collectibles has been getting wrong. If you're really into anatomy, it's going to bother you, but me personally, it doesn't bother me too much, so I'm willing to overlook it, but there are some people that won't. Really like the sculpt work on his pants here. Again, not sharing any parts from the original Scorpion. This looks really good. The knee pads are also done exceptionally well, and they're like this metallic yellow color with some silver dry brushing throughout it, so that does bring out some of the detailing on it. On the back, we do have some wrapping right here, going all the way to his ninja shoes, which actually have the sandals sculpted on, so that's a really nice detail. We have the flat of the sandal, then we have the string going in between the big toe and the index toe, I guess would be the layman term for it, but it does look really nice, and it's really cool. Although they did sculpt all his toes, that's a little strange to me. He's wearing one of those Nike Frees where they have the toes, which always is disturbing to me. But anyway, that's Scorpion for you guys. So what we're going to do now is actually get him compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Scorpion posed next to a Marvel Legends, Cyclops, and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Scorpion posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Scorpion posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we have the Storm Collectibles event exclusive Scorpion posed next to the Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat 3 Scorpion. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at his articulation. Now Scorpion here does have the standard ball joint for the Storm Collectibles, which is a barbell going from the head into the torso right about here, and that does give him plenty of nice movement. You can see he can look up really nicely. He can look down quite a bit, and I really like that. His head does tilt to the side, tilts to the other side really nicely. It also does rotate, so we get a lot of head movement. Kind of squeaky on mine, but you can loosen that up with some shock oil or some dish soap. Just make sure the dish soap is dishwasher friendly. That way it doesn't corrode the plastic. We do have a butterfly joint right here, which does bring the arm to about there. Brings the arm back, and thankfully I didn't pop the arm out of socket, but there's still time in this review. Does pivot down, pivot up, goes all the way around. Nice joint there. Goes about that far with the hinge. With the ball joint we can go a little bit higher, although the tunic will want to lower that down. So do be aware of that when posing him. We do have a really nice bicep swivel. We have a double bend in the elbow, giving us a little better than 90 degrees. Actually, yeah, just a little bit better. It's not too great, but it's still something. We do have a ball hinge here at the wrist, which does have in and out movement, and then we can rotate that to have up and down movement, and then we have rotation on that peg. He does have a ball joint here at the mid-torso, and that goes all the way around. You can see it leans back, forward, side to side really nicely, and we do get some swivel there. We have a secondary ball joint down here, and he's really squeaky right there. But yeah, we have a secondary ball joint combining those two joints. He can crunch forward about that far. He can lean back about that far. So really good range of movement there, and of course it does rotate. Legs do kick forward to about right there. They do kick back about that far. They go out to the side. Okay, this is another problem I have with this figure, is that just like some of the Street Fighter figures, his hips clash with the upper part of his mid-torso, so you can get his leg out, but you do kick his torso off to the side, and that does limit how far that leg will go up. As you can see, I can't bring it up any further unless I bring this part down, pivot him a little bit to the side, and then that leg now goes higher. So that's something that the original MK figures didn't have, but he now has that issue, and that's something Storm needs to rework on future releases, in my opinion. We do have a swivel right here at the thigh, double bend at the knee, giving us much better than 90 degrees. We do have a hinge in the ankle, which goes back and forward. No swivel, but we do have a really nice rocker ankle. And then we do have a toe hinge. Don't know if we're going to use it that often, but it is there if you want it. So overall, I think Scorpion here is a great addition to your MK collection. He does have some issues, but we'll already covered that. So with that being said, guys, let's get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Storm Collectibles event exclusive Scorpion posed for my final thoughts. And overall, I really love the way this figure came out. Now, I'm not going to give this a pass because of the shortcomings it does have. It's not a perfect figure by any stretch of the imagination. I do feel like the torso is a little bit thin, especially the plastic that they're using. It might end up tearing if you're a little bit too crazy. The interior of the plastic skeleton might protrude through the rubber torso. So do be aware of that when you're posing it. It might just be mine. Yours might have the perfect thickness, but mine does seem like it's a little bit thin. Also, the hips need to be re-engineered. I don't know why Storm Collectibles changed the engineering on these hips. They used to do a really good job with how the hips kicked out to the side. Now they seem to crash with the lower torso. If they just made that ball joint just about 2 or 3 centimeters longer, we wouldn't have that issue. Overall, this is still a really impressive piece, and you can load this guy up with so much fire. It's insane, and I love these effect pieces. They really do bring this figure out a lot. If you are looking for the event exclusive Scorpion, he was available on the Bluefin website, which is where I got mine. This was originally supposed to be a Comic-Con release. Unfortunately, Comic-Con was canceled, but Storm Collectibles was still able to give us this figure through Bluefin distributor, which I am really happy for. He did cost me about $70, so about $80 shipped, and I really do like the way he came out. Scorpion is my favorite Mortal Kombat character, so if they release a new form of Scorpion, more than likely I'm going to pick it up. If you did miss out on this figure, don't fear. He is still available for pre-order on BigBadToyStore.com, so if you haven't already picked him up and you're on the fence about him, if you're a Scorpion fan, definitely get this guy in your collection because he comes with a lot that you're going to want. I think the fire effects on this guy are alone to say pick up this figure, but that's just me as a Scorpion fan. I know a lot of people are a little bit ninja'd out by Mortal Kombat. Me personally, Storm Collectibles can sell me this particular mold 6 more times and I'll still be happy with 6 different characters. So if you are looking for this guy, check Bluefin out. They might still have him in stock. Or if not, you can check out Big Bad Toy Store where they still have them available for pre-order. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other Storm Collectible and Mortal Kombat videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at them. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.